What is going on, you dead set legends? Welcome to the Ready Bang, the number one arm wrestling interactive podcast in the world. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and joining me today are good friends, better enemies. They just had a super match, and unfortunately, one of these men were fed to the wolves. So this is your official spoiler alert. We'll get in there, but the main bit about it is we're very excited after a long, debilitating injury that we had Monster Michael Todd back on the table. And, of course, joining the Monster is his lovely wife, Rebecca, business partner, videographer, editor, babysitter, chef. I'm just trying to think of all the hats that you put on, Rebecca, when looking after everything that's the Monster brand.
Actually, I've had a couple of those hats not completely removed from my head, but at least a good portion shared away from me. So the videos that you are seeing lately, everything except our live streams, are from a phenomenal videographer and editor. Isn't he a great, he has a great way of telling a story. And his name is Anton. He is from the Ukraine, and he's actually living here, basically following Michael around with a camera. And so I'm absolutely in love with what he is putting out here recently.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. And I only have a problem with one of those videos, which I'll bring up in a minute, because it can't just all be happy days on the channel. And then, of course, the most staunch man in arm wrestling that took on Monster Michael Todd. He's a superstar. Pavlo Derbedenyev, how you going, mate?
Hey, what's up? I have a feeling like I have to translate something here, because usually if I'm on the podcast, I'm translating for Engin for East versus West, but I have a problem. I cannot translate from Australian to English because I don't know Australian yet.
That's right. That's right. You have told me that before. I think the good thing for this one is I have spent some time with Michael and Rebecca, so they're slowly picking up Australian. It's getting in there. Yes. Before I say hi to everyone in the chat, Michael, and before I start praising you, how dare you tarnish the good goddamn name of the movie Over the Top? Hey, pointing out flaws and things like that. That is the greatest movie of all time and inspired a generation. And here I am watching you. Oh, that wouldn't happen. And that wouldn't happen. We all know that. It's like someone
clearly not everyone does, because I had a very good reaction. There's a very good reaction saying, I never noticed that. That is very good. Thank you for pointing that out. I even tell you how great a movie it is and encourage everyone to go watch it. So clearly you didn't watch the whole video, or you would still be great.
Of course I did. I was watching it. I was just having I was there and you're like, oh yeah, if that was in a match, that wouldn't happen. I was like, Michael, we all know that. It's like being on a diet and someone coming up to you going, yeah, you shouldn't eat that cake. I know. Don't tell me the flaws of the greatest movie ever. But we'll quickly say hi to everyone and then talk about something that I'm very excited, and that is Michael back on the table.
Just a second. This is the point where Aussie Arm Wrestler is like, every time I have Rebecca on here, she thinks she's running the show. I'm not running the show. I just want to tell you that video, that over the top video and rice bucket video, both of those videos, Anton came with that idea to shoot, and he wanted to do it to break out of the typical arm wrestling group, to bring more eyes into arm wrestling. And boy, was it effective. Those two videos have really busted out into
probably combined about 250,000 views or more. Yeah, so it's doing good.
So he wanted to combine pop culture. So yeah, we all love Over the Top, and we all know it, whether you know it or not. We all know it, but he had a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, it gets a lot of eyes. If you go look at the analytics, a lot of the people watching are not subscribed and stuff like that. So it got outside the
brand new to the channel.
Yeah, completely new people checking out the channel. So it's cool.
I would love to see your reaction of Golden Arm.
I've never got to see it. I've seen Champion. See, everybody's like, it's the only arm wrestling movie I know. There's Champion. There's other arm wrestling movies, but that's the one that everyone thinks about.
I don't know what that is.
Golden Arm is trash. Is absolute trash, and you would have a field day with it. Yeah, terrible. It is terrible. So you have to do it. We've got White Wolf. He's in the chat. What is going on, my man? Along with Nikolai. We've got Lazy Hook saying ready bang. Great match, guys. Both beasts. Tall Paul Hutchins is hanging around. He's very happy that you guys are on the show. James Stewart, the Claymore, he's up and about. So we've got Varley saying hello to everyone. We've got a poll going, and the Drew reckons that you'll win both of your matches, Michael. We're just predicting if you get to beat Frank, only beat Lars, win both, or don't win at all. But everyone's in the chat. Joe Nelson's having a good laugh in there. James Lee G. I'll say hi to everyone in a moment because I haven't got much time. First of all, Michael, congratulations for being back on the table. How did it feel? What was the lead up like? The nerves and everything.
I didn't have a lot of nerves until the day before I was picking Pablo up, and I just got a little nervous that day. And then when I saw him, I got really nervous. I was like, "Holy shit, he's huge!" And then when he outweighed me, like he actually stood on the scale and outweighed me by 4 pounds, I was like, "Oh damn!" But I kept looking at his hand. The meat in this man's thumb is so thick. Like our hands are pretty much the same, except he has this really thick, meaty thumb muscle. And I was like, "Damn it, he didn't used to have that." So, yeah, I mean, it was great to get that match out of the way here. We didn't really have picked him up. We kicked a little bit, ate a little bit of food, and it really was just get everything straight, get the lights good. Hey, you ready to roll? I mean, it's just one of those things, and it went really well. It was so thankful to have Pablo. He's a person I've wanted to pull fresh right-handed for a long time. We gripped up a few times in the past, but we've never got to do it fresh. And I knew he was going to be a big test. So it was great fun. Had a great time. Just the entire time he was here was a great time. And he helped me out a lot by telling me, he's like, "Listen, everything feels amazing. The only thing I can say is you need to work on your cup." And then he showed me some of the things that he does to work on his cup. And when he showed me the exercise, I do a lot of wrist stuff. But when he showed me the exercises that he told me to do, I was weak as shit at it. I'm like, okay, well, there it is.
Bam.
And had I not had this match, I would have kept doing what I was doing, and I probably would still be stronger in 8 weeks or 9 weeks. But that area now, because doing that new exercise or doing the exercise he told me to, I expect to make pretty good gains. So in the next, I got a full 8-week camp, and then I'll take a week off. So this was perfect for me to learn, find out where I was at, find out what I need to fix, and just keep moving forward. So it was great motivation.
Did you try?
If I can stick my 5 cents on it, every time you're changing your exercise, you're getting your newbie gains. It's like you just start training, and when you change it, it's like your gains are faster, much faster, because it's a little bit different, hitting a little bit different areas of your muscle. It's like amazing, like magic. You're like 30% more in 2 weeks. It's like, yo, aphoria. Lots of aphoria. It works. It works.
Just quickly, Rebecca, people want to know, did you get your cake?
I did. Didn't have to go far, though. It was in the freezer. So all I had to do was go get it out of the freezer.
We were supposed to save it for another month for our next cheat meal. And we actually we're supposed to have 3 cheat meals in an 87-day period. And then knocking one of them out, not cheat meals, cheat days. I ended up knocking one of them out. And then the day just felt like a day to celebrate, Great time, Pablo. We had the grandbabies here last night. And once we got the house to ourselves, and she did a super chat while I was on with Ingen, telling Ingen that I need to celebrate. I know that I need to celebrate and I need to get cake and share it with Rebecca. So that was funny especially the way Ingen read it back to me. I got a good idea for you. You should celebrate and get cake, But yeah, so man, we feel good. It was and the other thing, so I'm going to do exactly what Pablo said, but Ingen also messaged me and said, "Hey, I was very impressed." And then I told him I need to work on my cup. He said, "Hey, if you got a few minutes to shoot a video, let me call you. I'm going to show you what I suggest." And so I'm going to do what he said too. There's 2 things from 2 very good arm wrestlers who have very strong cups that I get to start implementing that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, beautiful. And just 24 hours later, how does the arm feel? No, your arm, Michael. You're the one coming back from injury.
The arm. Okay. Yeah, my arm feels great. It felt great after, but then we pulled more after the match was over, and then we did a whole bunch of training that we realized that was a stupid mistake, because by the time we had it, we was going to do this whole list of arm wrestling exercises and film a video, And after the second or third one, we're like, yeah, man, I'm getting pretty weak. So we
Did he
probably
do
should.
that trash lift too?
Yeah, he did my trash lift.
Oh, he did.
But he also did Devin's lift, and even after the match, almost matched his own PR, which is 155. I mean, he was amazing. So yeah, it was pretty. I was pretty beat up, but I've already done my recovery workout today, and I actually got Pablo in the cold plunge last night. We did cold plunge, hot tub, and he actually did it in the hyperbaric chamber. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
Michael got my brains twisted a little bit.
What is that?
Yeah. The cold plunge helps.
Pablo, how did Michael feel on the table coming back from such a long time off?
Listen, the truth is that when I try to set a plan what to do, it's unpredictable because I knew what Michael is right before the surgery, and I realized that what they did during the surgery because Michael told me what was done, and I knew that his range of motion changed and his abilities are changed, but I didn't know what to expect. Is he stable? Is he gonna try to hook me because he wanna test the biceps, or he wanna kings move me? What he gonna do? I didn't know. So unexpected, right? Power was surprised because I really thought, and I know that I'm strong in the gym, right? I really thought that I am stronger. Surprise! No, equal. With Michael's ability and Michael's knowledge in arm wrestling, power is, I believe, approximately on my level, maybe even exceeding in some, areas. It was like, oops, very stable, very stable. Elbow joint is stable, it doesn't move. So basically, Michael's arm did not move off the shoulder line. So nothing like that, everything is lined up. Amazing, amazing. I'm as an opponent, I was like, fuck, I'm losing. As a friend, I was, very glad that you're back, dude. It's amazing
Means a lot.
comeback.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm pretty sure you said that same French word when you were pulling it.
Yeah, so
round one.
It got cut out of the edit, right? But in round one, when I hit and it goes halfway over and then it comes back to center immediately, in my mind I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because was hoping that I'd have enough explosive power to finish, right? So when I didn't, for a brief second, there was some self-doubt, right? Like, oh shit, I'm not what I thought I was gonna be. And then that was immediately switched with, wow, dude, we're just in an arm wrestling match. I've been here 1,000 times. All I gotta do is arm wrestle, So there was a brief second on the very first match that I had self-doubt, and then my brain switched to, hey, just gotta arm wrestle.
Yeah, beautiful. Pavlo, when did you find out that you were going to have a right arm match with Michael?
I don't even remember. It's like 10 days before, 2 weeks before.
Something like that. Yeah. First, I asked him to come down and train, and then it wasn't like a couple days later. I was like, dude, can we just have a super match before we do anything? This way I get the nerves out of the way and figure this thing out, And it made more sense. I mean, obviously, we wanted to do more training and get more training content, of course. But the only way we could find out was to go at it first, right? Because we'd have worked out first.
The reality of this is that it was very, very good timing because I started to gain my form already before I know that I'm coming to Michael. And I was in a pretty shitty shape like a month and a half ago, but I've been training normally and I've been, so I showed up in a very decent shape and probably the heaviest I ever been. Yeah, so surprised too. And it was very good test and experience for me too, not only for Michael, because I know exactly what my holes are, and that's exactly what I've been working with Bob Brown on a training session 2 weeks before in Vegas. 2 weeks before, or a little more. 2 weeks before.
2 weeks
before. How to beat a top roller, how to beat a king's mover. And I've been trying to work that out with Michael. And basically, what I was trying to do, I was able to hold Michael somewhere in the center of the table for a little bit of time. My endurance is not on his level. And my goal was to turn him palm up. Not possible, at least for me. Not possible. And I've been working hard. My forearm is still very, very sore because majority of my work was to control him and try to turn him palm up. So then I was approach, to pin him, but not possible. So his pronator was always engaged, always. I couldn't. Devon, left-handed, start giving up. So my abilities of twisting somebody palm up is okay. Didn't work with Michael. Great. So Michael did a great job engaging his pronator, moving on a table and transitioning between the styles. I cannot keep up with that. I mean, it's amazing.
So Michael, what are your thoughts of hearing that from your opponent only less than 24 hours after you went at it on the table? I mean, that's some pretty amazing feedback for your first super match in, how long's it been? Almost a year, 8 months?
A year.
Yeah,
a year.
Next week is when the bicep blew off. February 25th. Yeah. And so, man, obviously, I have a great deal of respect for Pavlo to get and the thing is, he's giving me honest feedback. Like, he wasn't sugarcoating. He's like, this is what I felt. This is what you need to work. So that is exactly what I needed. Win or lose, I was going to find out what I needed to fix. And that's what I found out. Okay, cool. Everything. He's like, listen, you don't have to train your pronator anymore. Your pronator is fine. You just have to train your cup. He's like, your pronation's fine. So that just means, okay, keep doing what I'm doing in that area and then start improving and changing some of the ways I'm training my cupping. And I think I'll see. I mean, this is the best praise he told me is where he thinks I will be in 8 weeks. He's like, I think you'll be 5-10% stronger in 8 weeks. Because the thing about stem cells, and that's a crazy number for me to fathom, but the thing about stem cells is he told me that he was strongest 3 months after his stem cells. And my last round was 6 weeks ago. So I'm excited because I got them every 28 days. 5 sessions. So basically 4 months apart. I had 5 rounds of stem cells in 4 months. So the last one was 6 weeks ago. So now the body's hasn't been, injured or like, because every 28 days they're re-injuring me, hitting me with stem cells, breaking the skin, causing inflammation, all that stuff. So my nurse practitioner is like, hey, let's take a break to find out what your real level is. We don't know what your level is. Let's take a break and find out. And then after you compete, we get stem cells again. So it's exciting.
It's very exciting. Alex McDonald's excited as well. He's been a member for 17 months. Thanks, you legend. Says two beasts. Can't wait to see Monster Michael Todd back at the top. And Edward's arm wrestling with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says enjoyed seeing how happy Michael was to be pulling. I think Edward speaks for a lot of us. When did it drop from nerves, anxiety to then like, I'm back. I'm on here.
The moment that my mind switched from fuck to, hey, it's just arm wrestling, I knew I was there to win or lose. I was there to learn, and the happiness came from how easy it was to arm wrestle with Pavlo. Easy setup, a lot of we just went out. We had fun, man. It's just two guys doing something that they love and doing it in an environment where we didn't have, we didn't have to like do a whole bunch of drama or hype or what. We just two guys want to arm wrestle. So yeah, I want to ask you, what did you think about the production of it and the way it was, the edit of it, the finished product?
I liked it, especially when I'm watching it at 4 a.m, and by 25 past 4, it was over. I thought it was great. I liked the little interviews and that at the start. It was short and sharp. Quick thoughts on Pavlo. Quick thoughts from you, Michael. You got replays in different angles. My only thing, and it's only 100% because it was your comeback match. During the replays, it was, I don't know if the camera guy just kept swapping. It kept being over your shoulder because we were, and no disrespect to Pavlo, we were all invested in your comeback match. So during the replay, I would have loved to have seen the close-up on what you were looking like when attacking. It's a minuscule thing, but I enjoyed it. I was watching it. I was there in the chat. Everyone else seemed to have enjoyed it. Were you guys happy with how it turned out?
Oh, I think that Anton did a fantastic job on the final. In fact, the three of us sat down with Anton a couple of times. I think Pavlo, just watching the matches, you know, as he was cutting them, making sure that he wasn't cutting anything important, that all that he cut was like time wasted wrapping the strap up or something like that. And then when it came to him getting the replays, the problem, and I know exactly what you're talking about because it was something that I kind of felt a little sad about as well. The problem with that angle that you wanted, that camera was being blocked by David each time he would step off to the side. So that was a little issue with how we placed it. We should have had folks moving around where they were going to before we actually put things in their permanent spot. So live and learn, right? But no, all in all, if it would have been me, what you guys would have gotten was one camera view, and I would have put that thing up immediately after it was over, and it was just going to be like, you like it, you don't, I don't care, I'm going to bed. That's what but he was up all night making sure Anton. He was up the entire night. We met him this morning at 7:00. I was too, but that was grandbabies. We met him this morning at 7:00. He was still winding it up, and shortly after 8, I was able to upload it so it could premiere. Now, the thing about it was he was so concerned about making sure he gave the athletes the proper respect. And, you know, that to me, it just tells a lot about where his head and his heart is in the production. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, I liked two things I liked. One of them, I think everyone will agree with me. I think the other, I don't think anyone will agree with me. I liked that your normal camera was closer to the table. I thought that was better. I know when you do the Monster Factory, you guys have so many sponsors and everything you got to thank, and you need to get them all in the shot. But this time, you guys were closer to Michael and Pavlo. I think everyone agreed with me on that. What I loved, I think it was after round 1, is we got another monster commercial. Yes! I love it when Michael makes his own commercials. I think they're great for the sponsors, and you're getting excited for skee ball or something. I can't remember, but I was like, yes, I love when Michael does it.
So if I can stick my 5 cents on production and how the video was made, huge credit to Anton, great guy. I like him very much. So we've been watching that camera, what was behind my left shoulder, because it's a right-hand super match. Camera was behind my left shoulder because we are not 154 class and we are 270. We are wide enough to block, plus the arm to the peg. We blocked the view, you know. That's why that view was not, it's been inserted a little bit by Anton, but we take it out because we cannot see. I'm sure in the future, because this facility going to be permanent and finished, there will be a camera on top, which going to be utilized, you know, in the future. But because it's not 110% finished yet, all the cameras are mobile, you know, on the tripods, and that camera exactly was blocked by me and the ref. There is the view was blocked, so that's what it is basically. We took it out.
Yeah, no, and that's why I said it was so minuscule, because like I got to see Michael's comeback match, or we all got to see Michael's comeback match, and then when they kept having close-ups, it makes a lot of sense of why we didn't get to see it. Rebecca, how were you? Because you're very heavily invested. You were there every single day from the moment of the injury to the moment of the comeback match. And then you see Michael coming back to the table. How were you in the lead up to it all and things like that?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
I was not on board.
Yep.
I was not on board. And I was very much on board with having Pavlo come and train.
Yes.
I was not on board with the super match. And I'm going to catch so much hate for this, but oh well, you know, I'm an old woman and I can do what the hell I want. So I was not on board with making it public for several reasons. The number one reason, though, was I was very concerned. No one knows what it's been like in this house for the last few weeks.
4 months, even.
Well, 4 months, but it's really tricky the last few weeks. And I was very concerned about how it could impact Michael mentally. Turns out all of my concerns were completely unfounded. This was one scenario. I'm going to give you, okay, he did good. This was a scenario where he knew exactly what he needed, and it may have actually unlocked an area that we hadn't been able to get to heal in him.
Okay, that's cool.
So I'm very, very
You're talking from a mental perspective.
I am talking from a mental perspective. So I'm very grateful to Pavlo for coming up. I am apologetic to my husband for the argument, but I'm very pleased with how things turned out, and I'm very happy to say that I was completely wrong.
So now, like, so when it comes to April and the match with Lars, you're feeling a lot more better, or are you like, Michael, baby, another 12 months off? Let's enjoy life.
No, I'm ready for him to do that. I really feel like he was physically ready, like Lars would be next week. I feel like he is physically ready for that match. I was very concerned about where his mental state was. We still have hurdles. We got to travel to get there. Okay. So, but doing this portion of it here, him actually getting to test out his arm and have faith that it holds up, because that's a big ass dude that was getting on Michael's arm. I don't know if y'all saw that. He's a pretty big guy. And so that was able to give Michael confidence. And he just realized what he told you in round one. It's just arm wrestling.
Yeah.
It's just arm wrestling. You know, so if he can stay in that state, and then we can deal with the other stuff with the travel, I don't see any true obstacles to him getting where he wants to go. That's not me saying it's going to be easy. And it's not me saying there won't be steps back. There could be. But I think that if he keeps his goal in mind and he keeps moving in a way of taking care of his health mentally, physically, and spiritually, I think he can get where he wants to go.
Beautiful. And I think that's what all of us want as well. So I'm glad that this whole experience with Pavlo, this match has gone in the right direction. I think a lot of people are definitely happy that it's, you know, we would have hated to have watched, because I'm not sure if you're aware, Ryan Espy got injured on the weekend. So, you know, things can go, as you guys know more than anyone, things can go the other way. So, but the real question is, and I think Pavlo's accidentally stuffed up here, because I think Pavlo's just sent me a text message, and I think it's for you, Rebecca. It says, when am I getting my money for losing to Michael? I made it look good. Like, that's, Pavlo, I think that's supposed to be for Rebecca, mate. You accidentally sent it to me. So get your bids in. No, it's only going. So I want to go to round two, Pavlo, for you, and probably your insight, because understand you're friends with Michael and, you know, you're helping him, and you took the super match seriously. But then when you went and you're like, holy crap, he's not moving anywhere. What was the mindset round two? Was it like, right, you're getting everything and more?
So, no, it was what I should adjust and how should I adjust it to, you know, to change it. And I've been working on it. And I believe that I did not do bad. I did a couple of mistakes which been discussed after match already. So center towards Michael was taken by Michael. And I've been working on it, but maybe not hard enough, or maybe I did not put my mind into it. So I lost that portion. I did not separate from my shoulder. So I've been applying proper pressure. In the center of the table, I'm not bad arm wrestler. I did not lose my wrist too much. So I gained it back. And in the center of the table, my belief is I'm not bad, so it's he's good. And I've been trying to control and twist him palm up to attack properly. Didn't work. I've been trying to set my hook and go towards him. I'm not fast enough with Michael to do that. Still was kind of hook position at some point where Michael pressed, and I caught it. This was amazing. That I can catch his press. It's like stop a freaking train, dude. I'm telling you, it's something. It was amazing, but and I counter it, and we slapped, and we put it. So it was a match, To be honest, it shouldn't be, but because I'm in okay shape, and I've been ready and been working with Bob Brown, and he teaches me how not to lose it because I'm stupid, and do something like and trying to pull from somewhere under the table, not in the king's move position, but in the and it was worked out pretty well, and I got into the match. I will make my adjustments, and next friendly super match I will give him more problems, and we will test it again.
Yes, we will.
That's what we want. Well, what were your thoughts round 3, Pavlo, when we got ultra mega former number 1 mentality from Michael, when he was telling you where he was going to go? He told you where he was going to go round 3. I rewound. I was like, I went back to my phone because I was watching it on my TV. I went back to my phone. I was like waking up, and I was like, Michael, just tell him where he's going to go. Like, what a transition from super nerves and everything. It's like, I'm just letting you know, I'm going inside, Pablo. I'm going inside.
If anybody want to try to stop his press, I want to see that shit.
I want to see that shit.
Well, there's a difference when it's connected with the strap. When I have the connection of the strap and I have this range of motion and access, it is lightning fast. Like, it's as fast as my left with a stronger hand and wrist. So
again, I like to test myself too, right? So I try to go forward again towards Michael to stop him and catch him right here in the biceps. If I would be able to do so, he's screwed because we are already strapped. There is no way around it, So in that position, I still believe that I would probably maybe not win the match, but I would give Michael lots of problems. But I didn't. It's too fast. So I probably can stop it in top roll position, but it would not be for long, because in this position, if Michael already pressing, maybe I would stop it for half a second, but it's just super fast and very, very powerful. Believe me, my bicep is not weak. It's just maybe a little bit lack of speed or Michael too fast. But it's not an easy task for anybody in this world. I'm telling you.
Yeah, there you go. What are your thoughts on that, Michael?
I mean, like I said, his opinion means a lot to me, and this was a lot of motivation for me. And I say that not just because I came out on top of the match. I found out what I need to change, and I have plenty of time to make those corrections. And the thing is,
that change needs to be done, because I felt it. Nothing is moving. Can you imagine you're in a match in the center of the table, and I'm pulling back, and I am making adjustments. I even fell out one time with my elbow out of the pad, out the front. And I'm trying to open up here. I'm trying to open up here. I'm trying different things, and nothing is moving except a little bit here. And I told Michael the truth. Michael, your wrist was moving. If somebody is better top roller than I am, which is very, very possible, it's a risk. It's a risk. You need to make that adjustment. Honest comment. Michael knows we work it out after the match. I showed Michael what I do. He's very, very experienced athlete. He will try to do so. If it works, he will know right away. You're welcome, Michael. That's it.
Thanks, buddy.
Serious. No, listen. No. After the match, we're friends, right? In the match, we're a little bit of enemies because I want to win. Losing sucks, right?
Yeah.
But after the match, when you start analyzing what's happening on the table, Michael told me what's wrong with mine. I told my honest opinion what's wrong and what needs to be adjusted with his. That's all it is. That's all about it.
Yeah. And I mean, I'd take my hat off to you, Michael and Rebecca, because and I only want to speak professionally because there's a lot been going on personally. But with all the changes, the renovation to the Monster Factory, the new business deals, there's the videographer, there's been a lot of changes over the last year since the injury, and then to still be able to keep moving forward, put out great content, try and not so much stay relevant, stay motivated to have super matches and things like that. I think you guys have been doing great the last 12 months, considering everything that's going on personally and professionally.
Yes.
All we can do is move forward one step at a time. That's all anybody's trying to do is just keep moving forward. And there's plenty of people that come along that want to kind of hold you back. They just ain't strong enough.
I'm gonna just completely transparent. I don't know. I don't have another option. It's either this or give up completely. There is no other option. I'm not a middle of the road kind of guy. I'm either all in or I'm done. Yeah. And it's not just. It's just that's where my mind's been for the last 4 months or so, and all the things I went through.
I have this stuff on my phone, just friendly reminder for myself to make sure that never give up.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I remember seeing that this weekend. But yeah, so it's just I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you noticed and stuff that we are pushing forward, but there is no other option. I mean, it's either, like I said, it's that or my quit's different. My quit's completely quit, So I'm an all or nothing dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why I resonate, and I think I noticed the changes because I'm the same. Like as soon as I stop enjoying this arm wrestling thing, I'm gone, and you'll never hear from me again. Like once I stop doing this, like I'm done as well. Once I do anything, it's with my charity runs, I did it until I had to get body parts replaced, like titanium in my body now. All right, that's done. I'll never run again. Now it's arm wrestling. I'm all in. Obviously not as an athlete like you guys, but yeah, I think maybe that's why. I don't know. I enjoy what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you.
Really appreciate that.
What's in the future of the Monster Factory? We know you've got Frank Lamparelli and we know you've got Lars Rabakin, but what's happening more content-wise, more projects and things like that? Is there anything that you can say coming in the works?
Well, I don't know if you've seen, we just put out part 2 of Michael's Road Back, right? That is going to be a monthly project. Every month there will be a docu-style part of the series that is going to keep you informed on what Michael is up to, what he's going through, challenges that he gets through, whatever, setbacks that he feels. So that part is going to continue to be a monthly part of the content coming out. And then stuff, what we told Anton, and by the way, if you're just tuning in, that's our videographer, is that when Michael is in prep, there are no funny videos like, just doing these crazy collabs, because he is going to be 100% focused on his training, on his nutrition, on his rest and recovery, because nothing is as important to him as that next match. So any content that he wants to put together within that, like I think he's fixing to do something with your blood flow restriction, and that's going to be great. And then as far as Monster Factory events, we got something pretty interesting.
Well, I can tell him right now, if I don't mind. So I'm going to speak about 2 things real quick.
There's one you haven't talked to, though.
It doesn't matter.
You better do it.
Yeah. So what came to our mind was at the next Monster Factory, which we have planned for May 18th, is a round robin between Pavlo, Corey, Mirtala Asanov, and Chance Shaw, along with other matches, right? Along with other matches.
That crazy guy said, "Yes, give it to me."
So, and this is how I want to do that round robin, and then have other super matches, like round one, all 3 matches, then some super matches, then round 2, then some super matches. Just have a fun card that day.
We could actually have a couple of rounds the Friday night before.
It's not good arm wrestling back-to-back days on the same arm.
Let's go.
Get it all done one day, because your body will be sore the next day. So that's one thing. And
we will do some lifts next day.
Do some lifts. All right.
That didn't work out.
Exactly. So what I was going to say was, with the winner of that earning the spot to pull me for the Monster Factory super heavyweight right-handed axe here at the Monster Factory at Monster Factory 7, right? Because there is no right-handed there's no super heavyweight right-handed champion here. So that would be something I think would be a good hype, good build up to the next Monster Factory. Now, there's a lot of other people that want to be on that card, and I've had a lot of interest in it, so we'll figure all that out. While Pavlo was here,
this is the best idea.
He came up with an insane idea.
It's crazy.
Because like the people who have seen the new facility in person, it's like, oh my gosh.
Should you really give this away?
Well, if someone steals the idea, then oh well.
I don't want them to.
I don't think they can pull it off.
I really like it.
Do you think they can? What do you think, Pablo? Should we say it or no?
Yeah, I believe you can say it, because nobody in North America ready for this stuff anyway, and I don't see anybody will be ready for next at least couple years, except you guys.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I think, and I'm just gonna speak it into existence. I think this is gonna happen. So he came with a great idea, because we have the perfect facility. So like Vitacell is doing these weekend events, right? And it's amazing. He's like, man, what if you get Vitacell or another company to sponsor a weekend, get the top 8 athletes that, North America, or bring some international people in, and just have a weekend training camp and just film everything. And it made a ton of sense, because we have everything. The gym has 3 full bathrooms. It's got a full kitchen. It's got laundry. It's got everything we need out there, right? So we could just come out there, and I could have local businesses, restaurants, cater the food. We could get local hotels to do the rooms, and there's a lot that could happen with this. I mean, it could be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-day thing, and we just come in here and we compete, we train, we just have great fellowship and get that. Because what happened, how this came to life, was I told Pablo how awesome it'd be if we could train with each other all the time. Mm-hmm. And then I said, well, how good would North America be if we all could be in the same city and could all train, or just get together? He's like, well, why don't you just have a training camp with all the top guys at the Monster Factory? I was like, I think we might can pull that off. So it was a great idea, spawned from Pablo, and I think we get the right support from the different business. That's the reason Monster Factory, this new 2.0 whatever, it's not completely finished yet. There's been some hiccups with the construction, but once it's completely done, I'm gonna I could do this anytime I wanted. If I wanted to have anybody come do a super match, just get a sponsor to cover the cost of the match, and we can film it just like this. I mean, I film it and the next day have it out. You know what I mean? It's that easy. So he's like, dude, you have the perfect space. Why not just get the athletes here and let's just have some fun? So fingers crossed, something like that could happen this year.
Could be like, you could almost have like also with a whole heap of unknowns in North America, do like an Ultimate Fighter style, and they all spend a week in there and they get eliminated and things like that. I think that would be definitely killer. But we do have a few questions for you guys, and I think I might be able to throw a spanner in the works for the next Monster Factory to give Michael and Rebecca another headache. But let's get to the questions first. Michael, who do you think is a harder match, Frank or Lars?
Both very strong guys. And that people don't know this. I picked both these matches. They weren't suggestions. Yes. I chose both athletes. I had been offered Svetkov, Morozov. There's a lot of names thrown at me, and I was like, I like those a lot. And then I really wanted to pull Matyshenko because I like the stylistic differences. But that match is going to have to happen later in the year. So I said, let's do Lars. Lars has won 2 matches, his 2 return matches at King of the Table. So it was going to be King of the Table next weekend. Then I realized I'm still dealing with travel anxiety and stuff. So that's been pushed. But once that got pushed, I looked at the rankings and I thought, well, he's number 6. Give me Frank Lamparelli. He just had an amazing performance against Matt Maskin. We have history. We pulled back in 2008, pre-Kings move, right? And it was a ridiculous grinder war. And I have great respect for him. There's a 2022 match of him versus Fekov. That's amazing. The guy's a very accomplished arm wrestler. So I chose both these athletes, both completely different athletes, because I want to test myself in every area. So
yeah,
can I say which one's harder? Not really. But I will be very well prepared for both guys.
There you go. Perfect. Pavlo, when's your next match?
I have 2 in 2 weeks. I have Brett Grundy right hand and Wilton Brock left-handed.
There you go. That's right. With Florida, with the crew down in Florida. Yeah, that is awesome there. Brock Tong Dog says, when will the Monsters go to Georgia? I remember Rebecca mentioning it before.
We actually just talked about that.
Okay, so honestly, this wasn't known. We had planned on going to King of the Table and then on Sunday going over to train in Georgia for a few days.
So we were planning on being there in March.
So, no, it's going to be February.
End of
February, yeah.
End of 1st March.
I don't know if it went into the 1st of March.
It
It's
doesn't
February
matter.
29th. There's 29 days. So it would have been like the 25th, 6th, 7th, 8th, flying home on the 29th.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so now she's like, maybe go in June after King of the Table. So it just makes sense to do it while we're already overseas. You know what I mean? If my arm's still good after Lars, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only hiccup. If I get into the most ridiculous grinder wherever, then I go to Georgia just to hang out. I don't get to do
Which
anything.
is fun.
Yeah, that's fine too. But we would really like to go over there and train with those guys, and which would be cool to do it just separate, like a separate trip. But I have to be very particular about my travel right now. So I'm trying to accommodate everything I can. But yeah, that's something we're definitely thinking about doing.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that'd be wicked to go up to Georgia and grip hands with all them. I gripped up with the Kazakhstan team a couple of weeks ago, and they're insane. Jeremy Parker's in the chat, and he says, Jake, do you want to go to the Monster Factory? Twofold. One, I've been invited before in the early days from these guys.
Not once, not twice, like 3 times. Go ahead.
3 times. And then to throw a spanner in the works, I will be in New Jersey the week before Monster Factory.
You will, May 11th.
Interesting.
Knuckles up.
Interesting.
I completely left. I didn't even think about that. Well, then.
The stars align.
Think of it what you will, Jeremy. Think of it what you will. Just see if there's any other questions for these guys, because I don't want to keep them too much.
Quick shout out to Jeremy Parker. Jeremy Parker, the one that you've read 2 of his messages. He's a young man here in Arkansas, and he's only been arm wrestling for 10 months. Pablo got to meet him this weekend. This kid has so much potential. It's insane. 10 months. And he'll either be the youth national champion April 6th, or I think he's got a very good chance to win the super heavyweight state champion April 13th. It'll be a year since he started arm wrestling.
Wow. So there it is. Keep an eye out for Jeremy Parker. There we go. Okay. So it all seems to be happening. Guys, if I'll give a couple of minutes if you want to get any questions or comments in for Rebecca, Michael, or Pavlo. If not, we will wrap up the show, because they've been brilliant with their time, and I'm sure they're tired from flying, ripping each other's arms off, and by the looks of it, they all just want to eat some food. So I can see that all coming in there. What were your thoughts,
Michael? Pablo kept telling Michael, I keep telling you, I don't have to eat.
He's like, I love to eat. I want to eat, but I don't have to eat. I'm like,
what do you mean you don't have to eat?
I'm eating, so you should eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly, we had no problem gaining weight over here. That sushi buffet really did it.
Yes.
What was it like?
I will tell you something, that it's a bad idea to try to challenge Michael on the sushi eating. I've been keeping an eye on him. It's it's a lot. It's a lot of sushi, and I can eat sushi. And I was like, interesting.
Well, what was it like turning up to the Monster Factory and weighing more than Michael?
One more time, I'm sorry.
What was it like when you turned up and you were heavier than Michael?
It was a little funny because I did not plan to. I was not heavy at all a month and a half ago. I saw like on a normal morning after I got sick, like 145 or 146. And I was like, holy shit. So I start my prep to get serious. My food was watched, I've been watched. Basically, I was trying to eat as much as I possibly can. And when I show up 2 weeks before, I'm like, shit, I'm having a match with Mike. I have to be like as ready as I possibly can be ready and as strong as I possibly can be. So I overdid it a little bit. So I've been basically heaviest I ever saw myself. And I was strong. Michael, it's probably not my best, but I was very, very close, right?
Oh my God. I could not believe how strong you were the day after doing the Devon lift. Because I sucked at it. I was like, give me a couple of days to rest. I can do much better, but you killed it. So yeah, it was
Michael,
definitely a very strong version.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay, we'll keep it on.
Yeah, that's a goal. That's a goal. That's a dream.
I have no doubt.
Brilliant. And last question for you, Michael. Brockton Dog says it feels like Corey has regressed. What are your thoughts?
Well, every right-handed tournament he's competed at this year, he's killed everybody. So I think a lot of our practice pulls are when we get on the table, I just know how to arm wrestle Corey. Corey's 100% belief. He's like, listen, if you would arm wrestle everybody the way you arm wrestle me, you will beat everybody. He goes, because what you do to me, no one else can do to me, because I just have lanes available to me. And he says I pull him different. He says how fast I walk, and when I hit and walk, it's like, he goes, you don't do that with other people, but with me, you do it immediately. And it takes so much of his leverage away. I don't know. Corey, it would have been nice had Corey been able to come up, and just been here or something. So maybe Pablo could have, but seriously, we were so tired the next day. We were not gonna beat anybody. I'm saying, we actually got out of the table again, and we pulled a couple times. Like, why are we doing this? It's so stupid. You can't help yourself.
Rebecca listening.
Yeah. Rebecca's here. She can't hear about
that. Exactly right.
There we go. Well, we've almost been an hour, so we will wrap up the show there. Everyone in the chat, thank you all so much for joining. If we can, please thank the staunchest man in arm wrestling, Pavlo Derbedenyev. And then, of course, can we all congratulate Michael for coming back to the table and with huge success, not only by winning, but he's become injury-free. So we're very excited about that. And can we also thank Rebecca, because with Rebecca, we don't get to see as much Monster Michael Todd on the YouTube and Facebook and everything. So we're very, very grateful for that. And it's always fun just having Rebecca on the show. So, guys, thank you all so much for joining. I mean, if you subscribe to me, you subscribe to these guys. So there's no point mentioning it. And we'll see Pavlo next week in 2 weeks in Florida. And then Michael's on the big card April 20th against Frank Lamparelli. Guys, thank you all so much for being on the show.
Thank you, guys. Thank you again, Pablo.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you very much.